Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lockdown Diaries. This is your host Aman Malhotra, and with me I have the pioneer of visual DJing, the creator of the tremor, the one and only Official.
What an intro. Thank you, mate. Thanks so much.
Official, first of all, how's your lockdown going?
Not so bad, man. Not so bad. I mean, I'm surrounded by my beautiful family. My wife is about to give birth, so we'll be bringing a new little baby into the world soon, so that's very exciting. We've managed to keep busy in the studio. Also keep busy at the production studio as well, making videos and creating content, so we've got lots of exciting videos to come out. So yeah, we've kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. It's been lovely. Making the best of it, you know?
That is pretty exciting, of course. So we have been hearing this term, the new normal now. So what is Official's new normal?
Ooh, well, you know what, to be honest, it doesn't differ for me that much from when I'm back off tour. So normally, you know, life is interspersed with, right, we go away for a few weeks, we have amazing adventures. And when I come back, I'm very much at home. I give a lot of time to my wife, to the house, to looking after things here. So it's kind of just an extended period of that time for me. So I'm not touring, which means it gives me time to focus more on my wife, who, like I say, is pregnant. So it's lovely to be there for her. It gives me more time to focus on music and be creative. So that is like I said, it's the new normal. It's longer periods of in between touring of not traveling, basically.
All right, perfect. So let's do this, Official. The first question, what inspired you to take up visual DJing, and how difficult was it to create a different form of DJing altogether?
What inspired me, it was a natural progression through the ages for me. I've been a drummer since I was 5 years old. I was touring in a rock band, playing in pubs from 15 years old. Then I was in nightclubs from 18, banging bongos alongside DJs, and I made my instruments more visual. I put LEDs in my drums. I lit my drumsticks on fire. I had water drums, things like that. So with all those different elements, you know, there's visual elements, I just eventually progressed to this new visual way to DJ. I reached a point where I worked out that I could tune my bongos to play different instruments and different notes. So I'd be in a studio being like, oh, I can play a melody out of these bongos. Oh, I wonder if I could link it to a computer and play a melody through a keyboard, but using the bongos. And then that was the train of thought then. So how can I control other sounds with the drums? And then combining all the previous things that I'd learned with mixing LEDs into that and making things more visual. That's how I got there. And then it took about 10 months of prototyping and making and different experiments to get to the point of launching the first ever visual DJ rig in 2013, it was.
2013. So 2013 was the breakthrough year for you, so to speak.
Well, yes and no. 2013 was the year that I launched my invention, but it didn't take off straight away. I thought it would be overnight, like people go nuts for it and everybody would know what it was, but that didn't happen for me until 2017, actually. That's when things changed. So I was landing back from my honeymoon, and in that 14 hours, in that journey, my video had gone viral, and I didn't know. So when I landed back into London, my phone was going crazy. Everyone messaging me, you've gone viral, you're here, you're there. Hundreds, thousands of messages. And then this went on then in 2017, and it was a crazy year. We ended up with over 300 million views. Our videos just kept going viral, one after the other. They were everywhere. People talking about them in every country. I'd be in a random shop in a random place in America, and people would know who I was and recognize what I'd created. And they'd even like had their videos of me on their phones and their laptops. Like, look, I was just watching you. So it got to a really strange point then where it went from, I've always been working hard and always been performing, to a lot of people knew who I was, which was quite cool.
All right, that's perfect. I think patience is the key then, 2013 to 2017.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about this name, Official. How did you coin this term, Official?
That's easy. That's a very easy one. My last name is Fish.
So it's official, kind of. Official.
Absolutely. It's just spelled the same. So rather than the word official, it's just spelled differently. So you say it like you'd say official, but you just use my last name to spell it instead. So A-Fish-Al, official. So that was just, it was a nickname, actually. A friend used to call me for years through school. He was like, what up, Official? How's it going? And then when I was coming up with the stage name, that just seemed to make the most sense.
I think it's a rather cool spin-off of Official, I guess. It sounds really good. All right, so So, what has changed in your relationship with music over the years?
What has changed? I mean, I've found love for new genres, for new styles. I've become passionate about types of music that I never was to begin with. And I think that comes down to the fact that I've always been a musician and I'm very open to all different styles of music. When people say, what do you like, what style? You can't really ask a musician that because we love every style of music. We like playing all of it. We like different songs from each piece of music. So I don't think it's really changed. It's just developed and I've grown and I've become more aware of good music around me. For a time, I was just very much in my own space, just focused on my music and what was right in front of me. So now I just have more of an open relationship with it and try and really take in as much as I can.
All right. So how does audience perceive visual DJing in comparison to regular form of DJing?
I think it goes down pretty well. I mean, the visual nature of what I do really engages people in the show. It brings them in. It gives them something to watch, something to focus on. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all entertainers. So why not make what we're doing as entertaining as possible? DJs pressing play and you know, being amazing DJs at music selection and production and engaging the audience, brilliant. But this gives me my niche to get up to their level. You know, if I create a USP like this, something that nobody else has, it enables me to then get on these big stages that people like Quintino, who else have been on big stages with, too many DJs, Martin Garrix, people like that. We'd never normally be able to play on stages their level because I'm not a top 100 DJ. But I get to play in clubs of that standard. I get to play in China in top 100 only clubs. I get to flown around the world because what I've created gives people a similar level of enjoyment from watching an A-list DJ to watching somebody they might not have heard of, but it's pretty damn entertaining. So that's what's been working for me anyway.
Perfect. So how was your experience on Britain's Got Talent, Official?
Oh, that was a while ago. Are you talking about 2012?
2012, yes.
2012, that was good. That was a turning point. That was a real turning point. So that was a time in my life when I just moved down to London. I'd recently just met my now wife. So this was, 8 years ago now. We'd come back from Ibiza and I decided to move down to London to be closer to her. So I'd given up all my jobs in the north of England, all my contacts, and moved down to start fresh in London so I could try and make it even further. I wanted to, you know, break through to a bigger stage. And luckily, as I moved down within that first month, I got a call from Britain's Got Talent saying, do you want to come on the show? We've seen one of your videos. So I was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. 3 days later, I was in front of Simon Cowell and 5,000 people. And yeah, that changed things for a while for me. Then all of a sudden, I was able to charge more for my percussion shows. I was doing a lot more percussion gigs, banging bongos in nightclubs. But the problem with that was I'd reached my peak. Britain's Got Talent was then the best thing I'd done. And you could see that my reputation would no longer grow beyond that. It was just coming down. So I was thinking, how can I do something to make sure I continue to grow? And that's what actually gave me the drive and the ambition to create the Visual DJ rigs and that show, because I'd done Britain's Got Talent. And then I was like, what can I do now? I have to do something. So that's why a year later, so 2013, I spent those 10 months not just enjoying the little bit of 15 minutes of fame and the little bit of extra money I was earning. I used that time and that money to invest into myself and build something new. And thank God it worked.
Yeah, I was reading about you and you mentioned in an interview that after Britain's Got Talent, you started from scratch and kind of reinvented yourself.
That's right. Yeah, I felt that Britain's Got Talent took away some of the achievements I'd made on my own. People were accrediting my success to that TV show, and I'd been a musician my whole life and touring and working and doing gigs successfully abroad for many years. And as soon as I did that show, people were then like, oh, well, you're only doing well because you're on a talent show. So then my attitude then was, right, I'm going to show you guys I can do it without a TV show. I'm going to change my name. I'm going to change my instrument. I'm going to start from the scratch, from the bottom, from scratch. I'm going to lose that Britain's Got Talent tag and create my own career path completely without any association or affiliation to a TV show. So that's what I did. And I managed to attain more views through my own network and my own channels than I ever did on Britain's Got Talent back then. So I feel like I succeeded in my own personal challenge.
You know, mate, it's very easy to keep milking the popularity you get off a TV show for long, but you didn't go down that path. So Kudos to you for that. It takes guts.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. So now, are you ready for the rapid fire round, the much awaited rapid fire round?
All right. Okay. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Yeah. So how often do you find yourself looking in the mirror?
Oh, I'm quite vain. So actually in lockdown, not very often because I'm not looking great. So I don't know, 5 times a day.
5 times a day. All right. If you had to listen to just one artist forever, who would it be?
Queen.
Queen. Your favorite movie?
I'm not doing very quick at these, am I? Fight Club, but that's too obvious. But we'll go Fight Club because it's a quick fire round. Go, go, go.
What is the one thing least known about you?
I don't know. I'm pretty open about most things. Least known. Oh, there's got to be something. What have I done that people don't know? God, that's a good question. What's least known about me? I don't know. Most of my shit's on the internet, so I guess most people know a lot of stuff that there is. I don't really hide anything. I can't think of anything that. I mean, all I do is music, family, and friends.
One thing that only Official knows about Official.
Well, then everyone's going to know about that. I don't know.
Top secret.
I don't think I've got many secrets, to be honest. Work-wise, no, one thing that only Official knows.
Any quirky habits you got?
I pick my nose too much. There you go. That'll do.
All right, that will do. 3 things you are addicted to.
3 things I'm addicted to: my friends, my family, and smoking weed.
Okay, best thing about being a visual DJ.
Ooh, making people smile. You see everyone getting their phones out. As soon as you start doing it and you start playing it and you see the lights twigging in people's head, oh shit, look at that. That moment is amazing when you see the joy that it brings to people and what you've created makes people smile. Best thing.
I was lucky enough to have a VIP seat at your event at TechFest. And my God, there were around 10,000 people there.
It was crazy, wasn't it? Thousands and thousands.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Really. It was a crazy start to 2020, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It was. If only it stayed that way.
I wish. Cheesiest pickup line you've ever heard. Your wife might be watching this.
Yeah, she could be actually. I haven't checked. Cheesiest pickup line. I'm terrible with pickup lines. Something about an angel and falling from heaven or something like that.
Is that the one you have used or you have heard?
I don't really use pickup lines. You know what I do? I like Joey from Friends. I go,
you like Joey from Friends?
How
are you doing?
How are you doing? That's probably my cheesiest pickup line. There we go.
That is. Okay. If you had to pick one, I'll give you 2 options. You have to pick one. All right. Creativity or business sense?
Oh, creativity.
Okay. Noisemakers or flow breakers?
Noisemakers.
Clubbing or skiing?
Skiing. Ooh. Yeah, skiing. 100%.
Comedy or romance?
Probably romance. I'm a bit of a romantic.
So I think you fared pretty well in this rapid fire round. So if I had a hamper to give away right now virtually, I would definitely give you a hamper. Official, you fared pretty well. All right. So so moving on to the questions. In what way would the ongoing lockdown impact the music industry, according to you?
Oh, it's been incredibly detrimental. I mean, all live shows have been cancelled for the foreseeable future. We don't know when we will start touring again. We don't know when to release music because when we'll be able to tour with it again. So many people are unable to earn money, are unable to do what they love, to bring joy to others. It's unfortunately going to be an incredibly long time until things get back to normal. So we have to, for this year, find alternative ways to bring joy to people, to create and share content, because live shows will not go back to the way that they did this year, I don't think.
Oh, okay. And tell us about your virtual shows then. How's that going?
Well, there we go. That's what I was talking about when it comes to trying to create a new avenue in this difficult time. So because I have a production studio, just up the road, so a big 1,000-square-foot unit with a video wall in where I film all my videos. We're able to create shows for clients in there because we have that at our disposal, and then live stream those to clients. We are able to, a lot of corporate companies are doing virtual events online with all their employees to keep everyone engaged and happy, and they hire virtual DJs like myself and my other guys in the team to DJ for them. And because we can do it in a more visual way, that really helps to translate through the phones. In the virtual world, it's very entertaining to watch somebody jumping around DJing visually. Whereas without all the video walls and the CO2 and the pyros, things like that, not dissing good DJs. I mean, I can't even come close to matching their level when it comes to music choices and keeping a crowd alive. I have to put bells and whistles on my show to compete. But it does then also help me when it comes to virtual events, because it's entertaining to watch, which is what people want when they're looking at their phones or their laptops. Visual entertainment.
So live events or virtual events, what would you pick?
Live events, 100%, man. I mean, we want to see you guys. I mean, just think, you remember the energy when we were there at TechFest? I mean, wasn't that just insane?
Totally insane. Totally insane. So what's your advice for artists who aspire to make it big on an unconventional path?
Well, that's probably the best thing to do, to be honest, to do it on an unconventional path. That is the advice. I mean, that's what I did. I never went the same way as everybody else. Everybody battles to be a DJ in the same direction, so they all end up just battling for the same thing, for the Beatport top 10, for Spotify plays. Everyone's battling in the same way. So rather than going in the same route as everybody else, I decided, no, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to come out here, do what I want to do, and then I'll meet you guys back at the top over here when I've done it my own way. So then I focused on, rather than getting Spotify plays and releasing music to go in the charts, I focused on sharing my music through creative videos, through creative performances and viral videos, which then enabled me, like I said before, to get onto the same stages as these big DJs and perform at these, you know, huge festivals that most people with the following that I have, which is, it's a strong following. We've got 1 million followers, which is amazing, but I'm comparing myself to, like I say, you know, Afrojack, Avicii, Martin Garrix. When those guys are at their peak and they're touring, they have so many amazing fans and followers, and it's difficult for people to compete with that. You really have to do something different to break through. And that is the advice. It's be different, stand out.
But you mentioned that for 4 years, from 2013 to 2017, it was a struggle. It was not a struggle, but it took time for you to get returns out of your investments. Yeah. So how do you keep yourself going through that difficult phase?
So as I was a percussionist to begin with, playing in nightclubs, I was just still doing those gigs. I was playing in nightclubs in Mayfair, on the West End around London, with my good friends Dan Healy, who's an amazing DJ, and the saxman Ben Barnett. These boys are my crew. We've toured and traveled together for years around the world, and they helped me get shows in London. There was also an amazing band I was a part of called Creation, and we would do weddings and bar mitzvahs on weekends, so I'd be the percussionist in that band. So I was a full-time musician. And all the time I was doing this and doing gigs and focusing on just earning money, I was also using all my spare time to create new videos as a visual DJ to push that brand I was creating. And yet it didn't happen overnight. It took 4 years of me still being a drummer and a percussionist to actually then make it as a visual DJ and be able to do that as my full-time job. It took a few years, but after grafting for a while, I got there.
At the back of your mind, did you always know that the big day is coming? The big day is not far?
I mean, it's hard not to doubt yourself at times. You know, when people keep telling you they don't get it, why you're doing it, it doesn't make sense, that I can't understand it. When you get a lot of that, it chips away at you a lot, and then you start to think, am I doing the wrong thing? So no, I'm glad it came when it did, and we went viral when we did, because, you know, 4 years in, pushing something that you believed in so passionately that just nobody else was getting was difficult back then. So I'm really glad that it got recognized on a global stage eventually, and it made it all worthwhile.
We're glad too, because we get to enjoy a new form of music live.
Absolutely. Well, more to come. Big things
more to come. More to come. Fingers crossed. All right. So your message for the people in India. You were in India in 2020. And what's your message for the people in India?
My message for you guys is, by far, you are the most energetic crowd I have ever performed to. Every time I come to India, you guys blow me away. And I tell this to everybody. Wherever I go around the world, I tell them stories about my shows in India, because the energy that you guys have, the passion, the love, and the support, it's honestly, it's up there. I can't think of many countries that match your passion and your love for live music and your support for people like myself. So I really greatly appreciate that. It's always a pleasure coming over and performing in your amazing country.
We love your performances right here in India too. And talking about TechFest, you were at TechFest in 2016 and also in 2019. So how do you see those two performances?
Quite a big change.
If you had to pick one.
You guys up the game. I mean, to be honest, the one that we did earlier was still an amazing show. I mean, again, great crowd reaction. Looked awesome on video. I shared that video for years afterwards. It's got hundreds of thousands of views now online. It was a good show. But wow, in 2020, wow, what an improvement. They just blew me away when we saw the stage and how big it was. And then how many people turned up as well. They were expecting, I think, maybe like 5,000 and definitely over double that turned up.
Yes, yes. And with you, we had Killa Kela.
We certainly did.
He was really crazy too with his beatboxing. It was really impressive. I was blown away with this.
Legend. Yeah, absolutely. Killa Kela. Yeah, that dude. Literally one of the best beatboxers in the world, and it's an absolute honor to have him on stage with me. That guy has worked with the best of the best. He has been on stage with the likes of Ed Sheeran. He's been on stage at Glastonbury. He has done some seriously cool stuff. So to have him on stage with me and hyping you guys was just, yeah, pretty incredible, man. Pretty incredible. I can see Mash and Kutcher just jumped on to watch as well. All right, boys. Now these guys.
Any message for him?
Hell yeah, these guys were my inspiration. When it came to creating my music and when it came to trying to perform more visually and in a more creative way, I took a huge amount of inspiration from these guys, and I admired what they were doing, the way that they made music out of found sounds, the way that they created these viral videos that would do nothing other than go viral because it was just so creative. I molded my company and my thoughts when it came to creating content on what these guys had done so successfully. And I was a huge fan. So when we started working together, that was, yeah, it was a pretty big deal for me. I'm a huge fan of Mash and Kutcher. If you guys want to go check them out, they are absolutely massive, a household name in Australia and killing it. So yeah, if you want to see a really creative duo, those are the guys to watch.
Those are the guys to watch out for. When can we expect you in India again?
As soon as lockdown eases and as soon as you guys give me the call, we will be there. Seriously, man. As soon as we're allowed, as soon as it's legal, and as soon as we get show books over there, I'll be there as soon as I can. I can't wait. That's
perfect. That's perfect. And Official, I would like to thank you for sparing your precious time and being with us right here live on Lockdown Diaries. And it was a pleasure talking to you. And, you know, if I'm in UK or if you come down to India again, I hope you will. We should definitely catch up.
And we will, man. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I've loved your questions. Thank you so much for bringing me in and asking all those insightful things. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much and have a good time. And we hope the lockdown ends so we can see you live again, like we did earlier.
Absolutely, man. I cannot wait. And big love to all you guys that have tuned in. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I can see all your messages. And it's what keeps me going. It's what drives me to keep doing this and keep being in the studio and making content for you guys. Thank you so much.